Hello, listeners. Welcome to my podcast. I'm Madam Cecilia Moige. Here in my studio, have some guests. They are the ICT technician experts. They're going to outline the steps on how you can assemble and disassemble the computer system. Next, I will start from introduction. So I will start from Mr. Kiprono. Welcome. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kiprono Jonah, expert in an area of computer disassembling and assembling.
Thank you, Kiprono. Let's have Madam Betty. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Madam Betty.
Hello, listener. I'm Madam Dorcas Langat.
Okay, feel welcome, my guests. Now, we'll start from Madam Dorcas to give us some steps on how you can assemble a computer system. Madam Dorcas, welcome, and you can give us your outline.
Our step number 1 is that find a clean, well-lit and static-free area to work on. You may want to use an anti-static mat or wrist strap to prevent static electricity from damaging your components. Step number 2, collect all the necessary hardware components for your build. These include the CPU, RAM, PSU cables and connectors, input or output peripherals. Those are the keyboard, mouse and monitor. Step number 3, you open the CPU socket on the motherboard and carefully install the CPU according to the manufacturer's instructions. Usually this involves aligning the CPU correctly and securing it in place. Step number 4, install the CPU sticks into the appropriate slots on the motherboard. Ensure they are correctly aligned and firmly seated. Step number 5, if your case does not come with a pre-installed power supply, motherboard, standoffs, and case fans, install these components. First, make sure the standoffs align with the motherboard mounting holes. Step number 6, carefully place the motherboard into the case, aligning it with the standoffs. Secure the motherboard to the case using screws. Point number 7, connect the power supply to the motherboard, CPU, GPU, and storage drives. Make sure all necessary power cables are connected. Step number 8, connect data cables from the storage drives to the motherboard.
Okay, thank you, Madam Dorcas, for giving us your clarifications. Listeners, I can see you are asking many questions. We are coming back to you. Okay, you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, WhatsApp, TikTok. My number is on my bio. You can call for more clarifications. Now, I'm going to welcome Madam Betty Kerich to give us another steps on how you can assemble the computer system. Welcome, Madam Betty, and feel comfortable.
Another step is connect data cables from the storage drives to the motherboard. Step number 8, if you have a dedicated graphics card, insert it into the appropriate PCIe slots on the motherboard and secure it in place. Next, connect your keyboard, mouse, and monitor to the appropriate pads on the motherboard or GPU. Neatly route and secure cables inside the case to improve airflow and aesthetics. Next, double check the old connection are secure and that there are no loose components or cables that could cause problems. Close the computer case and secure it with screws. Connect the power cord to the PSU and turn on the computer. Install your preferred OS. After the OS is installed, install drives for your hardware components and any necessary software or application. Test your computer performance and check for any hardware or software issues and troubleshoot as needed. Once you have completed these steps and your computer is running smoothly.
Okay, thank you, Madam Dorcas and Madam Petty. you have given us the steps on how you can assemble a new computer system. Listeners, as you can see, there are cheap steps you can able to apply them and install your computer. For those who didn't know how to do that for the previous session, I think now you have known on what you can do and you install your new computer system. Okay, for now, I'm going to invite Mr. Kiprono Jonah. He's going to take us through on the steps on how you can assemble on how you can be able to disassemble the computer system. Welcome, Mr. Kiprono.
Okay, thank you, Madam Cecilia. I'm going to take you through the steps on how you can disassemble the computer system. First, you need to find a clean, well-lit area to work on. The first step is you need to turn off the computer and disconnect it from the power source. You need to unplug all the cables, including the power, cards, peripherals, and any other external devices. The next step is most of the computer's cases have removable side panels. Unscrew and unlock the side panel and gently slide it off to access the internal components. The next step is you need to carefully disconnect all the internal components and cables from the motherboard, e.g. the PCs. If you have the expansion cards, you need to carefully unscrew them from their respective slots and gently remove them. The sixth step is you need to push down on the latch at either end of the RAM stick to replace them, and then remove the RAM module from their slots. You need to also carefully unscrew the motherboard from the case, ensuring you remove all the screws, securing it in place. The eighth step is if you have multiple storage drives, unscrew them from their brackets. The ninth step is you need to unmount and disconnect the PCs from both the motherboard and case. If you have if you have multiple storage devices, you need to unscrew them from their brackets and even. Then you need to unmount and disconnect the PCs from both motherboard and case. The next steps, I'll keep Madam Dorcas to continue from the next point, that is from point 10.
Our next step is, while the components are removed, you can use compressed air or an anti-static brush to carefully clean dust. The next point is, store the components in an anti-static bags or boxes. The next point is, if you plan to dispose of any old or non-functioning components, make sure you do so. And our final point is, remove any anti-static wrist straps and return your workspace to its normal state.
Okay, thank you, my technicians, for giving us the steps on how you can assemble and disassemble the computer system. For the listeners, I've seen your questions. I've tried to respond most of them in your inboxes. I think our discussion will help you on how you can assemble and disassemble the computer components. My guests, I thank you for coming. Continue with that spirit. For the next time when you come, encourage others, you come more. For the students or learners outside, you can tell them the importance of being an ICT technician. You can tell them the advantages, and also if there are some disadvantages, you can clarify to them. Welcome other students to the field of being an ICT technician. I think if you have any question, listeners, they will share their number of WhatsApp, or you can find them in other channels like most of people They are in TikTok, Instagram. They can be able to answer your questions. They are affordable, and I welcome you next time. So I think for next time we will be talking about the troubleshooting techniques. Listeners, I think will be affordable. Thank you, and let's meet next time. Okay, thank you, and let's meet in the next time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cecilia Moige, my TikTok account follow, my Facebook page follow. Let's meet next time. Thank you.